Hey everybody, I'm here today to tell you how to pass your driving test in 2018. In this video, I'll be going over 8 simple tips that will allow you to have the best possible chance at passing your driving test and getting your license in this beautiful year of 2018. Now let's get right to it. The first tip is to practice a lot. Literally nothing beats practice. Practice literally makes perfect. So with that being said, the more that you practice, the better that you'll be with each individual driving skill and as an overall driver. And with that being said, I really advise you to practice as much as you can. And this gets even more crucial the closer that you get to the test. So when you're a week away from your test, practice as much as you can. When you're 2 or 3 days away from your test, practice even more. Practice each individual skill and practice driving as a whole. The second tip is to know your car. Know the car that you will be driving for the driving test, okay? Know what all of the buttons do, what all of the levers do. Know how it's going to respond. If it's a manual car, know about the biting point of the clutch. Just know your car. Because on the driving test, you don't want to be, not understanding the acceleration level of the car and you're not accelerating quickly enough, or you don't know the brakes of the car and you're not braking quickly enough. You just should definitely know your car, okay? The third tip is to be optimistic. If you're going into the driving test worried that you're gonna fail, I don't think I'm gonna pass, you're putting yourself in a bad position to begin with. You want to put yourself in the best position to pass the driving test, and in order to do that, you have to be optimistic. So think positively. Think about all of the great driving skills that you have and the great driver that you are, and make sure that you're thinking in a positive manner and thinking that you're gonna use those skills on the driving test and pass the driving test and get your license, okay? The fourth tip is to calm your nerves. Now, I would recommend doing this the day of the driving test, at least a few hours before you go to take the test. You want to make sure that you're meditating or relaxing or doing whatever it takes for you to calm your nerves and relax. Now, for some people, this might be just sitting in a quiet, dark room and relaxing. For others, this might be listening to their favorite songs. For other people, this might be doing something like taking a shower or taking a relaxing bath. But you want to make sure that you're doing whatever you can to calm your nerves, because a calm driver is a driver that is more likely to pass the driving test than someone that is super nervous or anxious about the test. The fifth tip that I have for you is to study uncommon driving situations. Now, some examples of some uncommon situations are an emergency vehicle approaching from the right of your car, getting caught in the middle of an intersection, avoiding an accident that happened in front of you. When it comes to the driving test, everyone's going to be good at common situations, making a right turn, making a left turn, maintaining the speed, and so forth. But it's the uncommon situations, the ones that don't happen often, that usually cause problems on the test. So prepare yourself by thinking about what you would do. What would you do if an emergency vehicle was approaching from your right? What would you do if the person in front of you slammed on the brakes and swerved to the right? What about if they slammed on the brakes and swerved to the left? I want you to think about all of the uncommon driving situations that you might get into and think about what you would do. How would you respond? The sixth tip is to study the driving test area. Now, you should know where your driving test will be held, give or take. Even if you know where the driving test starts, you want to study the area around that. Study the speed limits, check out any one-way streets that are there. You want to literally look at any parking lots, any speed limit changes. You want to look at any awkward intersections. Just study the driving test area so that you're familiar with it. Drive around the area. Practice driving in the area. Check out all of the parking lots and the parking spots. Any areas that you might have to parallel park in, check those out. You really want to study the driving test area because it'll give you the best chance at knowing the area and therefore passing your test, and even further, therefore, getting your license. The seventh tip is to ask for clarification if you need to during the test. If the driving examiner tells you to turn right at the next street and you're unsure about which street it is because, 2 streets are really close together, or you just want clarification, ask the driving examiner, did you mean this street up here, blah, blah, blah street? Okay? Ask for clarification. Okay, if you're unsure about what they said or what they mean, ask them for clarification. They are there to help you. They are there to guide you and to make sure that you know how to drive. They're not there to make sure that, you heard it properly. They're there to make sure that your driving skills are present and that you are a good and safe driver. So ask for clarification. Most examiners will gladly clarify and help you to understand what they mean. The final tip for this video, the 8th tip for passing your driving test in 2018 and getting your license in 2018, is to focus on the road and the instructions. Don't get distracted. I know that you might be thinking about your exam that you have in 2 weeks, or the wedding that you're going to be part of in a month. You got to get that stuff off of your mind, okay? You have to focus on the road and the instructions, because when you're thinking about other stuff, it's going to affect your driving and the level of safety of your driving and the level of precision of your driving. And all of those things are important for passing your driving test. So with that being said, don't focus on anything other than the road and the examiner and the instructions for the driving test. Once you've passed your test, you can think about that exam that you have in a few weeks. You can think about that wedding that you're going to go to in a month or two. You can think about all of that stuff. But while you're taking the test, focus on the road, the examiner, and the instructions, and the test in general. And that's basically it. In this video, I have told you how to pass your driving test in 2018. I have gone over 8 simple, easy tips that you can use to give yourself the absolute best chance at passing your driving test and getting your license in the year 2018. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great car and driving videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.